The weekly New World patch is looking pretty damn interesting. Finally, we're actually getting a buff to the XP for arenas, and hopefully this changes a few things. So let's go through the notes and we'll talk about them in a moment. The patch is coming tonight if you're in the Pacific time, in the morning if you're in the UK. And the first thing to note really is that PvP arenas now award 250, 350 or 500 PvP XP for winning 0, 1 or 2 rounds respectively. That's an increase from 100, 200 and 300. So what that basically means is if you go in and you don't win a single round, you'll now get a minimum of 250 XP. If you win them all, you'll get 500. This is the kind of change we probably should have seen last week, but I'm very happy that it's here now. Basically, it doesn't affect Great Cleave, people will still be running those, but you now can actually feel a bit more rewarded for doing arenas. I was literally just doing some on stream and they felt really underwhelming. Now there's a question of, does it go far enough comparison to like Great Cleave? I don't know, but we're getting there, so let's just be happy with this and we'll see how it goes. Big change that really needed to be made though, so I'm happy to see it. Now this issue I literally it hadn't caught my view. I hadn't seen this. Basically people were crafting items that looked like it was going to be like gear score 590 plus or whatever, but it was actually crafting way lower gear score. Really stupid, weird bug, and it looks like hopefully they've fixed it. So I think it was happening basically, as they say here, that if you were crafting like a 590 out of 590, you were getting weird gear. So it's fixed, that's good. The first light faction control bonus from the fort is being fixed or changed. Basically it was working on non-refining items, so I don't know exactly what they count as non-refining or not, but there was some things like Iron Guardsman insignias, gypsum and all that kind of stuff. I suspect this is fixing that. I think this one was like a fix to some of the cooldowns. I think people were crafting like mutated orbs and they were just throwing like weird cooldowns, so I think this is a fix to that. Not really bothered about the flawless victory one, but let's skip on to this next one, which is very important. Players will now receive less PvP XP and Azov Salt per capture after capturing 10 faction control points within 24-hour period. Each capture following your 10th faction control point within that time frame nets 250 XP and 50 Azov Salt. Big nerf. The idea here is that they don't want people to just be farming faction control points like indefinitely. Now people are still going to do it 10 times, I think. You know, you'll just go in, do your share and then get out, but at least they've made it so you can't just do that all day and like run away. And then the other two are just like little bug fixes, so not going to bother too much there. So what does this mean? Well, so it looks like PvP arenas are back on the menu, especially for people who aren't like faction dominant in Great Cleave. Those that just make it sort of palatable. It makes more sense to do them because you're more consistently going to get rewarded, especially if you enter like a solo queue and you're not going to get anything. That's just pain. This sort of makes sense. So yeah, I think this is a good change. Does it go far enough? As I said, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, to me, this is an indication that they're not happy with the complete exchange of faction control points, the forts basically. They didn't like that, but they didn't want to get rid of it completely, so this is where they are sort of like soft capping that. That makes sense. The big obvious omission is the faction missions in Great Cleave. I'm surprised that they have not done a similar cap. Maybe you cap it so that once you've done 10 missions or so, you start getting less XP and less salt. They've not done that. Are they happy that it rewards you with an insane amount of XP and salt? Well, maybe. I mean, there's no indication that they're not at the minute. Or maybe that it's actually just a much harder change for them to do that, so that's why they've not done it. Either way, this is good news. It's hard not to be positive here. Every change here is good, I think, really, in the long run. So it probably could have been done last week, but we've got it now. I'm happy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Have a most beautiful day. Goodbye.